On this episode, crochet hook auditions, and I'm bringing you along with. Hello and welcome to or back to Miss Craftslott's Lair. I am Barbie and I am your resident multi-crafter. On this channel, I do tend to try to stick with knitting, crocheting, and sewing. However, there is a chance that you may see something else on this channel. I do a lot of different things. If you watched my last video, you may have noticed that I was a little bit hesitant on recommending this particular crochet hook. This is the Boy Ergonomic, and this one was the one I was using for the last video. However, I have freshly cleaned this one, so it will not show you my issues with these hooks. This one, however, is not freshly cleaned, and I have used it a little bit. And the reason why I don't care for these hooks is this wants to slide all over the place. This wants to slide right out. The way I fix this is I do take some Dawn dish soap and I clean the metal part to the hook, as well as using a bottle cleaning brush in order to clean the actual inside of the silicone handle. However, it seems like every couple of days I have to continue to clean them with use, and it's getting kind of old for as much as I crochet and knit. And then I have to put it back together again, and it just gets old. I have brought you along with on a crochet hook testing journey. Just a few things to get started with this. First off, all of these hooks that I am going to be using in this particular series, because I am intending on more, all of the hooks in this series are going to be tested on acrylic yarn. I do have a lot of acrylic still hanging out in my stash that I would like to use up and start getting more natural fibers into my stash. However, I need to work a little bit faster. Another thing about these particular auditions is the fact that I am only auditioning tapered hooks. I do not get along with inline hooks. I have not liked inline hooks. I only have one Susan Bates inline hook because I dislike them so much. So I am not even going to attempt to do that for these auditions because I know I don't like them, and I am not going to waste my time, my money, or your time dragging you down that for just not good reviews, because just this is my opinions and how I like them. So therefore, I am not going to waste that. In traveling, we ended up at Hobby Lobby. My husband wanted to look at Hot Wheels, and I wanted to look at crochet hooks. These three caught my eye, so I wanted to try them out. I am not wanting to test just this particular like regular crochet hooks for the fact that I already have a well curated stock of just regular crochet hooks. However, I need something more ergonomic that I don't need to take rubber bands and wrap a bunch of rubber bands around the crochet hook in order to make it comfy for my hands, because my paws get hurt. I will also say, yes, I do understand that this is Hobby Lobby. I do try to keep from purchasing as much as possible at Hobby Lobby, although unfortunately with our favorite craft store closing, it's kind of getting hard to find readily available, just go to the store, grab the yarn kind of places for me. I have allowed myself a little bit of grace. So to get started, I am going to start off with this regular crochet hook. That is the packaging for it. This one has a very nice like grippy to it, and it's a metal hook as well. Feel in hand, um, it feels kind of comfy. It's not as squishy as the silicone that was on the boy hooks, but it does seem like it would be pretty comfy. The number on the hook is printed on there, so I'm not sure with regular use if that is going to wear off. It's not indented. What is the word I'm looking for? It's not reliefed or bumped up, so I have a feeling that eventually that will wear off. However, I think with the different sizes of these hooks, they are different colors. So if you remember what color, have like a cheat sheet or a notebook paper or whatever saying, keeping track of which color was which, I think you could probably get away with that. Um, but I don't know the longevity of the sizing numbers. With that being said, how does this booger work? Well, the ease of use. So here's my swatch that I did with this crochet hook. I'm going to give this hook a 5 for affordability, for the fact that at $2.49, this particular, or $2.49, this particular hook was fairly affordable, especially saying that I have seen regular crochet hooks going anywhere from $2 to $4 now. So this I think is at $2.49 is a pretty good deal. As far as the numbering or the marking of the size, I would say I will give this a 4, just for the fact that I do think that with regular use, this number is going to this the markings are going to come off, especially with the way that I hold my crochet hook. I am a knife hold, and it seemed like that fleshy bit on my arm or my hand, the fleshy bit on my hand kept touching that particular part of the hook. So I could see that as being a potential problem. For this hook, I also give a 4. It's not very give, it's not squishy, it's more of a firm plastic. So even though it is more ergonomic as far as handhold and pretty comfy, it is not as squishy comfy as I think it could be. So it's getting a 4 from me for this. Editing Barbie here. I realized that I forgot to put in my ease of use rating for this particular hook. It was a 5. And let's move on to the next one. The next hook that I am going to be trying out is this plastic one. It does call it a luxury crochet hook according to its packaging. Let's see how luxury this particular one might be. Okay, so here is that particular swatch made with this hook. This one, for being plastic, it seems like it's pretty tough. It's a lot better than the flimsy ones that I get in some of the um, kits that I have gotten. So I do give it that. Also, this one is marked not only on one, it's marked on the side. So where I'm kind of close to it when I'm holding it, my knife hold. However, it has the size in letter form on one side and then in number form on the other side. So if you know your hook sizes, letter and number, if you do end up wearing off on one side, you should be able to still see on the other side what size you are using. I would list this as is for, oh, another thing, pricing. This was also $2.49. So at $2.49, I do give this a 5 for affordability. Durability and the ability for these numbers to stay on, I would probably give it a 4 as well. Although they will rub off, I do think it is possible as well to keep track of the colors because I think the colors per style or size vary. I do think that as long as you can keep track of the color for your hook, if these numbers and letters should come off, I think it would be fairly easy to keep track of which one you have, like in a notes on your phone or in a notebook somewhere. So I would give it a 4 for that. Comfort, this one has a little bit more of a squishier, but yet firmer. Like, how do I even explain this? It's not as squishy as like a solid silicone. It doesn't have very much give. However, it is seems a little bit easy on the hand because my hands get very like not really crampy, but they do end up getting a lot of the pressure points pain. So I think that's the best way to put it. So this one I think is a pretty good buy if you are going past Hobby Lobby and needing a hook. Editing Barbie back here again. This particular crochet hook gets the ease of use of 4. It was kind of an interesting way to get used to this particular hook. For the third hook, I do have this one. This one is $1.49, as you can see up there. So let's break into this one and shall we see how this one works? This is not exactly what I was expecting this particular handle to feel. It's almost, I think it's actually really wood. Does it say? No, it does not. It does not say what this particular, oh no, bamboo handle. So it does say what it is. It is bamboo, but I was not expecting it to feel like this because I'm normally used to feeling bamboo on knitting needles. This does have kind of a texture to it. So we shall see. Also, in order to hold this, it's kind of got an awkward grasp. However, it does not feel like it would cause my fleshy bits to have an issue. Also, with this, the number and letter is printed actually on the aluminum part of the hook. It honestly looks like they just took a regular hook and glued a bamboo handle to it, which if the glue is strong enough, I don't think that there would be an issue long term with that. However, knowing how the silicone comes off of the boy hook, my concern is about durability as far as this particular handle coming off of this hook. That being said, I am going to get to the test now. But definitely yeah, we shall see how this works. All right, so here is that swatch using this particular hook. I will give this hook a 5 for affordability. I would give it a 5 for the embossed raised lettering, numbering, marking of the actual aluminum piece. I am also going to be doing a second score for the projected durability. I am going to give this a 3, however, for the handle, due to the fact that I don't know if this handle is actually going to come off eventually or not. I would give probably a 4, possibly even leaning towards a 3 for comfort, just for the fact that it feels not as balanced when I'm using this particular hook as if I would just be using like the original standard old aluminum crochet hook. Um, and it kind of has an odd, not expected texture to it. For the ease of use for this particular hook, I am going to give it a 2 because it was very unbalanced to use. I would not say that this is particularly a hook that I would be reaching for. However, if it was the only one on the only size on the shelf that, or the only one of this size on the shelf, I would grab more of these. They're not getting completely thrown to the wayside and they are still usable. However, probably not going to be my first pick off of their shelf. So there you have it. So that is the outcome for my first hook auditions. I hope that you liked this. And if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to have you here. I am still working on 500 subscribers, so if you could help me out with that. And as per usual, until next time, bye! Was not expecting it to feel like this. I've had list that one for the bloopers. Gross. My mouse is so gross. I guess I get to wash that later.